This miracle story made possible by Pinkberry.
I tell Mark all the time that she's my hero. Just everything that she went through that she'll never know that she went through, it brings me to tears, you know.
At 1-year-old baby Brooklyn, whether she knows it or not, is a survivor. Her mom and dad thrivers after a crisis 6 months into Mama Melanie's pregnancy.
So I've obviously never been pregnant before, and I didn't know what a real contraction was. I thought maybe Braxton Hicks, you know, those practice contractions they talk about. And so I started having them for about a week before they started becoming more frequent, to where I thought, okay, something's not right. And so I went to the ER that Monday night, and she was born about 2 hours later.
How far along were you in the pregnancy?
25 weeks, 4 days.
Babies born before 26 weeks are micro-preemies, which meant months in the neonatal intensive care unit, or the NICU, became the Payne family's new normal.
I remember being oddly calm because there was nothing that I could do about it. Things just started happening so fast that I think I was mostly in shock, just letting it all happen.
Brooklyn progressing, mom resting, and dad protecting.
I was trying to stay positive. The doctor told me kind of her chances, and I didn't tell her that. I didn't think that was relevant right then.
What did they say?
They said her chances of survival were like 25%, and there's a high chance she would have severe developmental problems like cerebral palsy. And that was just brutal to hear, and so I didn't tell her that till like 6 months later. I just didn't think that was helpful.
Are you glad?
Yeah, I didn't want to know.
It makes me emotional to think that, you know, that's a fear as someone who wants to be a mother one day, and you hear that, like, what do you actually feel in those moments?
Yeah, I felt like it was my fault, like I had done something wrong to make her come so early. And so many people told me, you know, I did nothing wrong, I did everything right, but you feel like it was my job to take care of her the best I could while I was pregnant, and I couldn't do that. And so, a lot of guilt.
Before getting pregnant, Melanie and Mark had never faced a life-threatening experience. They were college sweethearts. They met as undergrads. He was the UC Davis basketball captain. She was the volleyball captain. They graduated, they got engaged, and after 6 years living in Europe for Mark's pro basketball career, Melanie and Mark conceived. They moved home to El Dorado Hills to begin parenthood.
Talk to me about before and after in terms of who you two were as people. I mean, life was pretty perfect.
It definitely gave me a perspective, and it made me very appreciative that before this, you know, we haven't had big deaths in the family, or, you know, we were traveling all over the world, and, you know, we were pretty lucky to have good stretches there where we didn't have real big crisis in our whole families, you know, both sides.
I feel like I've grown up a lot in the last year. Like you were saying, perspective. When I see other people maybe complaining about little things, whether it be, you know, Facebook or anything, I just sit back and I'm like, it's not worth it.
The surgeons, doctors, nurses, even social workers at UC Davis Children's Hospital took care of the big stuff, like getting baby Brooklyn through heart surgery, 2 laser eye surgeries 1 month after birth, and making sure mom and dad didn't get lost in the mix.
It was very important that I was treated as well as Brooklyn, because when you have a traumatic birth like this, you're at a higher risk for postpartum depression. They were on top of me. I mean, if I so much as sniffled or, you know, had watery eyes one day, the social worker would come in and check in with me to see how I was doing.
Without UC Davis Children's Hospital miracle workers, Brooklyn may not be doing this well today.
She does not have any conditions. She's off of all her medication. She was on kind of like a asthma treatment, a breathing treatment, but she's off of that. She just takes a daily multivitamin like we do.
And we have a physical therapist that comes out here and measures, you know, is she scooting right? Is she grabbing with both hands? Is she doing everything? Is she right in line developmentally with where she should be? And
oh my goodness, look at you. So stop talking about me.
There are enough words that I could say to really thank them for everything that they've done for us and for Brooklyn. I don't know, I mean, that will just be such a special place for us and for the rest of our lives.
Like Mel said, it's part of our story now.
It's your story. It is your story, baby girl. Thank you. She's beautiful.
Thanks.